Today, we're building a high-capacity spray paint rack that holds 132 cans, designed for strength, precision, and fast access in the shop. Let's get started. We begin by cutting our 1/4-inch plywood on the Kongsberg X24 router table. For this operation, we use a 1/4-inch upcut bit to get clean edges and consistent chip evacuation. This process produces two essential components: the scalloped shelf fronts that cradle each can, and the spacer blocks that control shelf angle and maintain perfect spacing. The CNC gives us precise, repeatable cuts across the entire layout. Next, ripping the boards. Next, we rip the 3/4-inch material using the Festool TSV 60 track saw. This saw features a dual blade system, a small scoring blade that makes a shallow pass to score the particle board, followed by the main blade that completes the cut. This prevents chip out and delivers a clean, accurate edge. The track is locked down with 2 clamps to ensure absolute straight line precision during the cut. To move full sheets of plywood safely onto the cutting surface, I use the Festool mobile saw table and workbench. The adjustable frame allows me to tilt the sheet upright, roll it into position, and lower it flat onto the table without heavy lifting. The built-in support rails and height adjustment make it possible to handle large material alone while keeping the sheet fully supported and stable. The table also uses sacrificial wood blocks across the top. These blocks create a continuous support surface, and they're designed to be cut into. This allows me to make through cuts directly on the table without worrying about damaging the frame or the workbench surface. It keeps the sheets secure during cutting and maintains perfect stability throughout the entire process. This setup makes loading, positioning, and breaking down full sheets faster, safer, and completely controlled. Parallel guide system. For consistent and repeatable rip cuts, I use the TSO parallel guide system with the Festool track. This setup locks in an exact measurement from the edge of the sheet, allowing me to repeat the same cut dimension across multiple boards without remeasuring or adjusting the track position each time. The parallel guides attach directly to the track and reference off the edge of the material, keeping the saw perfectly aligned for long, straight cuts. Once the measurement is set, every pass is identical, whether I'm breaking down full sheets or dialing in precise width panels. This system eliminates guessing, speeds up production, and ensures every part comes off the saw with the same exact dimension. It's one of the most reliable ways to achieve accuracy and repeatability when working with the Festool track saw. If you've made a build like this or created your own version of a spray paint rack, I'd really like to see it. Share your setup, your approach, or any improvements you've made in the comments below. Everyone solves these shop problems a little differently, and seeing your ideas not only helps me learn, but also helps the whole community pick up new techniques. So if you've tackled this project in your own way, drop a photo or a description in the comments. I'm genuinely interested in how others have approached this challenge. Edge banding. For edge banding, we start with the Festool Conturo K65. This machine applies pre-glued edge banding with controlled heat and feed pressure, giving us a consistent bond along the entire length of the board. The Conturo guides the banding on smoothly and maintains even tension so the strip sits tight against the workpiece without gaps or lift. Once the banding is applied, we move to the Festool MFK 700 to trim the overhang. The router's base keeps the tool stable while we flush trim both the top and bottom edges, producing a clean, uniform line. After trimming, we finish by hand scraping the edges. This final pass removes any micro lip left behind and softens the edge just enough to give it a smooth, professional-grade finish that looks factory perfect. After the edge banding is applied, the first step in cleanup is trimming the ends. For this, I use an edge band end cutter. This tool is designed to make a clean, square cut at both ends of the banding without tearing fibers or pulling the material away from the surface. The cutter applies even pressure from both sides, slicing the banding flush with the board's edge in a single controlled motion. This prevents overhang and eliminates the risk of the glue line lifting. Using the end cutter ensures both ends of the banding finish out perfectly before moving on to trimming the top and bottom edges. It sets the stage for a clean, professional finish across the entire panel and keeps the workflow efficient and consistent. All pieces are cut to final length on the Festool Kapex KS120. The Kapex delivers precise, accurate cuts with a smooth sliding action that keeps the blade aligned throughout the entire stroke. To ensure every shelf comes out exactly the same length, a stop block is set on the support fence. Once that stop is locked in, each board is brought in tight to the block and cut without needing to remeasure. This setup guarantees perfect repeatability and eliminates variation between parts, critical when building a multi-shelf unit where consistency directly affects alignment, spacing, and overall fit. The combination of the Kapex's accuracy and the stop block system produces clean, matched components ready for assembly with zero adjustment needed. We position the first spacer block and pin it in place. The alignment of this first block is critical. This spacer determines both the angle and the exact location of every shelf that follows. Once this block is set correctly, no further measurements are needed for the remaining shelves. This spacer establishes the consistent pitch of the rack, ensuring each shelf matches the next and the entire unit maintains its designed geometry. After positioning, we pre-drill using a countersink bit. This removes any risk of blowout and creates a clean seat for the screws, allowing the components to pull together tightly without damaging the material. Each shelf is aligned precisely to its spacer, then pre-drilled to prevent any shifting while fastening. The first and last shelves receive 2 screws per side to lock the structure in place. All middle shelves receive 1 screw per side, which is all that's required once the frame is established. I add a plywood strip across the back of the rack to serve as the mounting surface. This is the board we will screw through when fastening the shelf unit to the wall. Plywood is used instead of particle board for added strength and better screw holding power, ensuring the unit stays secure once installed. After the mounting strip is in place, the 1/4-inch back panel is added. I start by securing one side, making sure the entire unit is perfectly squared. With the alignment confirmed, the panel is fastened all the way around the perimeter. This back panel locks the frame into position, stabilizes the structure, and ensures every shelf stays aligned and rigid. Once it's installed, the entire rack becomes a solid, unified assembly ready to mount to the wall. With the rack fully assembled and squared, it's ready to be installed. The unit is tilted upright and positioned against the wall at its final height. Taking the time to hold it level and centered ensures the shelves sit correctly and the entire structure presents cleanly once loaded. Using a stud finder, the wall studs are located and marked. Securing the rack into the studs is critical. This gives the shelf the load-bearing support it needs to hold the weight of multiple spray cans without shifting or sagging. Once the stud locations are confirmed, corresponding points are marked on the plywood mounting strip at the back of the unit. The next step is pre-drilling through the plywood mounting strip. Pre-drilling prevents splitting, ensures the screws drive straight, and allows the rack to tighten firmly against the wall without pushing the unit out of alignment.
This also keeps the screw heads seated cleanly and reduces strain on the structural panel. With the holes drilled, the rack is held in place and secured to the studs using 3.5-inch screws. These long screws provide deep penetration into the stud, creating a strong, load-bearing connection capable of handling the weight of the cans as well as the stress of repeated use. Once tightened, the entire rack becomes part of the wall structure itself. It will not flex, shift, or pull loose under load. The installation ensures the shelf sits completely secure, level, and ready for day-to-day shop use.
Installing the shelf fronts. The final detail on the rack is attaching the scalloped front pieces. These fronts not only provide a clean finished look, but also help guide each spray can into its position and keep the shelves visually uniform. Each scalloped front is positioned against the shelf edge with a precise 1/4-inch reveal at the bottom. This reveal creates a consistent shadow line across the entire unit, giving the rack a clean, intentional appearance, while ensuring the fronts sit perfectly aligned. Once the position is set, the fronts are secured using a brad nailer. The brads hold the trim firmly in place without shifting, and because the nails are small, they can be filled or sanded if needed without leaving noticeable marks. Care is taken to follow the same reveal and alignment from one shelf to the next. This consistency is what gives the final piece a professional, balanced look. By keeping the spacing identical across each shelf, the rack feels cohesive and the scallops line up visually, guiding the eye down the full height of the unit. Once all the fronts are attached, the rack takes on its final finished appearance. The scalloped trim integrates with the structure, enhances the overall design, and ensures that each spray can sits neatly and securely in its cradle. And make sure to keep an eye out for our next build. We're putting together a full-size spray booth right inside the garage, and the entire setup takes up only 7 inches of space when it's stored. It's a compact, fold-away design that gives you a dedicated spraying area without losing valuable shop room. We'll walk through the layout, airflow management, fold-out framework, and how to create a clean, controlled spraying environment that fits practically anywhere. If you've been wanting a spray booth but didn't think you had the space, this next video is going to change that. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this one. With construction finished, the rack is ready to be filled. Every can is fully visible, organized, and positioned for fast access. Thanks for watching. If you found this build helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more shop projects and build guides.